So we are into July, the second half of 2020, a year that's been pretty questionable to many of folk. But before we go into July, let's take a look back at June. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Doing something a little different today. Monthly wrap-ups are something I've never really done on the channel before, but I had a couple people ask, hey, sometimes I miss some things that come on the channel, and it'd be nice to have a wrap-up, kind of like I do with the weekly updates, but without the hey, I watched this week or whatever. So I thought it'd be a good chance to kind of look back at the month. For myself, obviously, to see if I'm hitting the goals that I've kind of set for myself internally. And also, like I said, to let other people know, just how the channel's progressing and if they missed anything along the way. So let's get into it. For June, I read 6 books and 1 short story. 4 of them were Dresden Files books. Changes, Ghost Story, Cold Days, and Skin Game, which I just finished like about 10 minutes before I started writing this. And I'm glad I don't gotta wait 5 years like everyone else did. And I also read the short story Aftermath. So this was something I thought that I was gonna do for pretty much the month of June, was try to get in 4 Dresden Files books. A lot of people are like, oh, I can't believe you're trying to do that. But if those aren't difficult reads by any stretch if you're trying to kind of rush through them to get to peace talks like I did. But it's kind of fun to get there that quick there at the end. And like I said, not have to wait. So it's been a good time. Then let's move on to my 5th book, which is my favorite book for the month of June. That's something I'd like to start doing. And that was Wrath by John Gwynne. And this was a wrap up to the Faithful and the Fallen series, which I've talked about ad nauseum on this channel, so I'm not going to repeat that. But just know I was extremely satisfied with the series. I know that there is a sequel series of Blood and Bone that you see back there, and I'm not going to read that right away. I'm going to kind of let the first half kind of marinate for a while before I get into that, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And I'm looking very much forward to following Mr. Gwynne's career the rest of the way, because he has quickly elevated to one of my favorite modern fantasy writers, working right up there with Joe Abercrombie and Brandon Sanderson. So take that for what it's worth. And then the last book was The Gunslinger, which is the first Dark Tower book by Stephen King. That's something that I kind of wanted to revisit because I'm going to be doing the Into the Multiverse series for the Dark Tower. And I wanted to be able to remember, because the last time I read The Gunslinger, I was 19 years old, and it wasn't the revised and expanded edition that I just finished reading. So, yeah, lots of thoughts coming on that. In July, I'm going to be doing a Why You Should Read in the Dark Tower, and then August will be that Into the Multiverse episode on the first book, The Gunslinger. So that's kind of where we are for books. Busy, busy month, but as always, I think a lot of months, 4 to 5 books a month is usually right on target. If I wasn't in a rush, for Dresden Files, I don't know if I would have done that. I would have probably spread it out a little bit more because I don't like to read, just one series continuously like that. I've talked about that before. I like to kind of spread it around a little bit. But with that said, as far as channel goals, we crossed 15,000 in June subscribers. That's crazy because that was my goal for my birthday of August 4th. I was hoping that we could get there by then. So again, the growth continues on the channel. It is starting to curve just a little bit. That curve is starting to flatten a little bit, and that's fine. I expected that. I've never expected that this was going to be some 100,000 something channel. I never really anticipated that. I'm just glad that so many of you want to take this kind of journey with me, because I love talking to you guys about books. I love talking to you guys about just about anything. So the fact that anyone cares to discuss those things with me, I am grateful. I mean, it's the whole reason I started this channel, was to talk with other people, because all my in real life friends are like, I can't believe you read that much. And I'm like, I can't believe you don't. So there is where we are, 15,000. Thank you guys. Awesome. As far as statistics, I produced 20 videos for the month of June. I try to do about 4 per week if you include the weekly update, 3 originals and then 1 weekly update. Try to get at least 1 review in there, but sometimes it just don't happen. But yeah, the most popular of those by far was the Kindle Oasis video. It's got over 30,000 views in 1 month, and it's amazing how much people are interested in hearing about the Kindle. What I said is, while I don't think I'm going to do as in-depth a review as those tech channels do, what I can tell you is, from someone who reads a lot and uses the device a lot, I'm going to tell you more than how many teraflops and how many pixels and how crisp the pages are. I'm going to tell you what it's like actually using the device and reading on it. And apparently that's something that people wanted to hear. And there are a lot of people that are curious about the Oasis because it is a price commitment. So I'm happy that that helped out a lot of people. That was also followed up by my second most viewed video, which was my May book haul. It was a bigger book haul than usual, so I expected there to be some interest in there. Like I said, I like doing book hauls to let people know if they're like me and they want their spines to match up and things like that. I always feel like it's a good idea to show people what these books look like in a completed set and things like that. So that's why I do those, and I'm glad that people are interested in those. Just know that June's book haul is going to be significantly smaller. But let's see here. The Dresden reviews really helped out a lot this month for the fact that Jim Butcher himself actually tweeted and commented on those videos. So that obviously helped quite a bit, brought a lot of new eyes to the channel, and so I'm thankful for that. Again, he was already one of my favorite working authors right now, and I think that just is obviously, I mean, let's be real here, that's going to boost my opinion just a bit. So I'm glad that he has, been confirmed to watch those videos and appreciate them, because to me, doing this, I love that an artist loves me talking about their art. I think that's really just a cool feeling. So I'm really, really thankful for that, not just for the extra views and eyes that he put on the channel, but just, again, I think that what I said is the ultimate compliment to me is giving a review or a why you should read on an author series, and they really appreciate it. And yeah, I know him and John Gwynn both have really appreciated apparently the material that I put out for them. So I am thankful for that. Really, really cool. The bookshelf tours also did quite well. People love to see the bookcases behind me. They were all the time asking, what's that one there? What's this one here? What's that by your ear? What's that by your elbow? Whatever. So I thought a nice little rundown was a good idea, and it seems to have done well. By far the highest viewed Stephen King content I have on the channel, doing just the Stephen King shelf or whatnot. So that's cool. That's cool. That was really cool. I'm glad that people asked for those and they enjoyed those. Video that did pretty well this month, and I'm really excited about the feedback from it, was my announcement of the Great Coats read along that starts in August. It's not too late, guys, if you want to do that. If you want to jump in. We got a month between then and now where we're going to start reading Traitor's Blade, which is the first book in the Great Coats series. But I talked about Malazan there too, but basically what this was to say that we're doing this Great Coats read along as kind of a trial run to see how things go and what I want to tweak, what I want to change for the big read, which is Malazan starting in January. So I'm just excited that so many people are interested. I mean, the Malazan one is hundreds strong, and I'm not joking about that number. Hundreds strong. And the fact that there is a big chunk that are also going to contribute to the Great Coats read along, really cool. People have asked me how that's going to work. Simple. I'm going to read it. I'm going to review it at the end of the month. I encourage you to do the same. But if you want to discuss it, I'm not going to be doing weekly discussions on it like I did when we did a Rage of Dragons read along. What that is I encourage you to hit the description below, join the Discord. I'm going to have sections for spoilers and sections for chapters and stuff like that for the Great Coats read along. That's the best way, I think, to do it, because if not, no one wants just to hear my talk about it. They want to discuss it with others, and that's what I'm encouraging here. So yes, you would have to join the Discord to do the in-depth, constant coverage of the Great Coats, and I really hope you'll do that. Discord seems like too much for you. You don't want another social media thing. It's easy. Ditch Twitter and come to Discord. It's more fun. And it takes literally probably a half hour to learn how Discord works. And I mean, that server's, we're over 1,000 members now, so it's growing just as fast as the channel. So I'm excited about the conversation. I'll sign off of Discord, get back on there, and there's so many conversations going that I can't even catch up with all of them. So I'm excited that more people are joining that. So I hope you will do the same. That'll help for our read along. I also returned to the Wheel of Time this month by talking about how I had to divide the seasons or the books into each season. I think I got mostly a positive interaction. There are going to be those factions of the fan base who think that absolutely nothing should be cut or altered, and I get that. I mean, I felt like that when Lord of the Rings was in production, and then when I saw the movie, I was like, okay, they cut that. You know what? It didn't change anything. So I felt like it was mostly a positive discussion. And, there are some things where people like, I don't like that idea, and that's fine. That's fine. No one's going to agree. I said at the beginning that was my opinion. I am a one-time reader of Wheel of Time. I've only read the series once. It's rather recent. So I felt like I wasn't so close to it that I wouldn't, not be vicious and say this needs to go, this needs to be reduced, and things like that. So I thought it was a neat idea, and it seems like something that a lot of other channels are doing right now while we wait for the show to enter back into production. And hopefully that first season comes out by this time next year. We'll see. That's the hope or whatnot. But it was fun to return to the Wheel of Time for the first time since my Why You Should Read video on it. But I hit all my reading goals. They were dominated by Dresden, obviously, for that run up to Peace Talks, which is 2 weeks away. Can you believe that? 2 weeks away. And again, I know people are just like, flipping the bird at me because I just finished it today. Now I've got to wait 2 weeks for the book when they've been waiting 5 years. So I'm very, very thankful for that. And I'm thankful that I jumped on there because it's been a fun ride for the last 6 months. But lots coming up in July, including Dark Tower coverage, like I talked about. And of course, I'll be talking about Peace Talks. I plan on doing kind of not really a theories, but like a wish list. If you follow my Wheel of Time stuff, I did wish lists for Wheel of Time before each book. So I kind of like to do that for Peace Talks, what I'd like to kind of see happen, what I'd like to know some answers to. And I'm still kind of just letting everything marinate from what happened at the end of Skin Game. So I don't have anything right yet, but I will be doing that. And obviously that'll be a spoiler video. But yeah, if you've been following my Dresden Files reviews, you know all those videos have been spoilers, much like my Wheel of Time ones. So obviously, a Peace Talks wish list is going to be spoilers, so I look forward to doing that. If you have any suggestions, please hit the Discord, hit the Dresden Files spoiler section, and we can talk about it there. I'm also going to be continuing Mistborn Era 2 and going to be returning to The Witcher. That was a fan poll that I took this month about the series that I said I was going to try to finish before the end of 2020. Which one would you most like to see me finish? And Witcher blew away the competition. Over 50% of the vote went to The Witcher, and the other 4 options didn't even combine for that much. So hey, people want to hear me talk about old Geralt. And I got no problems going back to that. I was enjoying that world quite a bit before I left. So look for this week sometime, maybe next week, an updated July, August, September TBR. I did that before, and then the Great Coats read-along came out of nowhere, and it kind of adjusted things a little bit. But so I want to kind of update that. October is going to be its own beast. That's going to be a complete horror theme, which I'll get into later. So I figure now is the best time to do July, August, September updates for that. So look forward to that very soon. And guys, it was a great June. I'm glad you guys are hanging with me, and I look forward to continuing in July. What did you do in June? What was your favorite book? What was your favorite book in June? Hit me in the comments, guys. No wrong answers. I'll talk to you there.